Hello, I am the Sucky6 and today I present to you yet another unboxing video. Um, so today I will show you a bit of an interest of mine, something that kind of piqued my interest several years ago, I think 2012 or so, 2013. Well, I showed interest in it in 2012, and then in 2013 I actually got it. So what I have here today is another shipping of, I guess, what I would like to unbox for you, and I will show you the address on the box if I can. Yeah, it says Crazy Aaron's Putty World, and um, how do I have very little spatial reasoning. Well, here we are, puttyworld.com. So yeah. And this website essentially, if you couldn't guess, provides putty if you buy it. And this putty is actually really interesting because they have all kinds of different colors and varieties. There are glow-in-the-dark ones, and there are these, well, seasonal ones. I especially love the seasonal ones, and the seasonal one would happen to be inside today's package. So I get these whenever there's, a new monthly, well, I suppose seasonal once again. Seasonal putty comes out. So, before we begin, actually, I would like to say happy birthday to you, Charlie, or joyeux anniversaire. I don't know how to accent it, I'm sorry, but today, on the day of recording at the very least, and hopefully on the day of posting, it is going to be Charlie's birthday still. So, here we have this part here that refuses to come out. There we go. And ahem. So, let's see what we have here. What is this? Ahem. Today we have... Whoa, they are all coming in boxes now. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. So this is Northern Lights, and this is one they recently released for the entire website. It used to be exclusive to particular stores, and since very few stores in my area carry, thinking putty, it's kind of obscure when it comes to being seen in stores. There aren't many that offer it. So this is a glow-in-the-dark variety, and essentially it's called Northern Lights. If I haven't already said that, I'm sorry. So we have typically it needs kind of to be since the box is usually leaned on one side in shipping, that means the putty kind of flows to one side. So here we have M. Oh, that's shiny. Oh, that is glorious. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Its shininess fine. Wow, that is actually gorgeous. Okay, so hang on a minute here. It's getting everywhere. It usually does not whenever I do an unboxing. Well, I haven't ever done an unboxing before. Whenever I open these up, the putty usually doesn't go out everywhere. Today is an exception, maybe because it's particularly warm. It is summer. I had to turn off the fan because it would make noise during the video. So yeah, this is the Northern Lights. I think I'm gonna like this one. So it's got a nice iridescent shimmer to it. There's like lots of green, lots of there's also quite the presence of glitter, and I kind of like the glittery kinds. They have an interesting texture. This one doesn't have a smell like the first glittery putty I received. So I'm going to unpeel this from its lid. Otherwise, it'll be stuck there, obviously. So just peel that off. And as you can see, putty is very pliable. It's very, you know, I like the way this one feels, and I don't think it's quite too soft, because this is kind of a problem some of the putties have, especially the color-changing ones that change depending on the heat. They're ridiculously soft, and it's to the point that it's sticky. Most putty is not sticky, and if it's particularly soft, then it'll be sticky. This one's maybe a little sticky, but for the most part, these putties are not necessarily sticky. They're simply, well, they have the properties of putty, I guess. That's the only way you can really put it. If you've ever played with, you know, an egg of silly putty, it's like that, only a bit thicker. The stuff doesn't dry out either, so that's lovely. So, yeah, this is Northern Lights. So, here's the package once again, which it came in. So, let's see here. Next up, we have the Super Illusions. This is the third Super Illusions I've gotten. The other two I received and I had given away. Well, one to my father and one to a friend of mine. So, essentially, the Super Illusions are particularly interesting because they're kind of iridescent, but on a completely different level than this. They actually change color depending on the angle which light hits them at. So, gotta make sure none of the leftover glitters on my fingers. I have a thing about, you know, putty mixing. That's kind of the one thing you don't want to do. This is particularly hard to open. The Super Illusion, I remember being a little more thick, so I like the thicker putties. Give your hand something to do. Ooh, that is lovely. Oh, funny. The way it's settled in its package, however, is a little bit gross looking. So once I start playing around with this, it'll probably look a lot better. I'll have to remove it from its lid. It's mostly gathered there. Okay. Hang on a moment. Let me get these little stray strips back in, and I shall peel it from the interior, the part of the tin it should be in, which is where the least of it is located. So now we have the lid, and I'm gonna... The best way to get putty out of its lid is to stick it to itself, because it does stick to itself very well. However, it seems to be giving me a bit of difficulty. Just need to find the right place to unstick it at. But you can already see, as I'm kind of stretching it around, it's becoming more and more iridescent. I guess if the putty settles wrong, typically, you know, like direct vertically, it'll turn into its it'll split basically into its parts. It'll have its iridescence, it'll have its dye. Yeah. So boy, this is a bit troublesome. The heat's making it a little softer than it should be and making it extremely difficult. Here, I'll just show you what it looks like when it's stretched out. It's iridescent, and you know, this is the oil slick variety, so it's kind of yellow, black, and green, and really, really nice color, really. If I can just, actually, I'm going to forget this for now, because we're at the 9-minute mark here, and I have to kind of keep the show moving, because since I'm not fully registered with YouTube, I can only have you know, videos under 15 minutes. So that's lovely. If I can just get it to close, come on. This is kind of actually a little bit annoying here. If I can... Oh, I know what to do. Just make it stick to its side, and then peel it away from there, and... Oh, wait, nope, that's not... Okay, wait. Okay, peel it to its side. I mean, some of it's behaving like I want it to, and some of it's not, unfortunately. boy, 10-minute mark. Okay, lovely, wonderful. We have about 5 minutes to get that thing back in its tin. I might have to make this a two-parter if I'm having this much trouble with it. Because I'll be honest here, I can't get it shut because all the putty is stuck to the lining, and that basically means that the lid won't close. It'll just kind of smush out of the container. Boy, this is actually really difficult. Come on, like, can you please? What is the problem here? It is refusing to remove itself from the sides of the container. So I will have to relocate it. I'm sorry, so far it hasn't exactly been probably enjoyable for you, the viewer. Me struggling with the putty. I can't get it shut entirely. Oh wait, no, there we go, there we go. So, on to the next putty, after I get the mouse. And this finally is the seasonal color, which I had been looking forward to. It's called Stars and Stripes, and it is a glow-in-the-dark variety, but that's not all it offers. Because this particular seasonal putty is, also completely, entirely loaded with glitter. Oh boy, I love the glittery putties. They have an interesting texture to them. So, let me just get this out here. It looks a little purple, I'll be honest, but, that's just, probably because, you know, red, white, and blue, it's probably, that explains. It all compounds if you're not looking at it really close, the colors. So, I believe the putty itself is actually clear, but the glitter inside of it gives it a nice color. So I'll just remove this from its lid, and here we have, you know, a nice glob of it. So I'll stretch it out for you all to see the glitter inside of it. If the camera would focus on it. Come on, autofocus here. Numbnut. Ugh. Come on. Well, I can, I guess, do that. So yeah, the putty itself appears to be clear, but it contains all these wonderful little specks of glitter in them. So let's peel that out of its container. Now, let's see. Putting up a significantly less of a fight than the oil slick variety. So, yeah, this is putty, and this is just basically what I do with it. I pull it and, you know, pull it apart and put it back together. And, you know, while that may seem a little simple, it's actually really captivating. So it's got a nice, this one has a nice silvery, purpley hue to it. I really like it. So, yeah, the video's hit the 14-minute mark. So, I'm sorry I couldn't completely show you the oil slick variety and its properties because it refused to get out of the container. Hang on a minute. Maybe it's settled a little to a point where I can safely remove it. No, it doesn't look like it. Gotta make sure there isn't any glitter on my hands. Okay. Usually the glitter doesn't stick to your hands. That's an unintended side effect that occurs when you stretch it too thin. So here I am trying to take it out of its darn tin. Goodness, it's all locked up in the lid and I cannot remove it. So you'll have to excuse me. The video's reached nearly the 15-minute mark, so I'll have to end it off here. This is the Sucky 6 going off. Thank you very much for watching, and happy birthday, Charlie.